Yes, you read that correctly. I have never seen Game of Thrones and I didn't even bother watching House of the Dragon for that exact same reason. But why did I watch A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms? Let me tell you it in this video. Yo guys, today I watched A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Actually, it's very simple because of everything and everyone that was so extremely hyped, the gigantic scores for this one, the fact that it was a prequel, and everyone just telling me fucking watch it. You don't need to have seen Game of Thrones to be able to understand the series. It's that simple. I was kind of getting in the groove, like, okay, maybe I will give it a chance once it will be in my time. And then they said every episode is just half an hour long, which is something I have been craving for forever. Just have shorter episodes, man. Make more episodes, but make them shorter. I love short things, and this series got exactly that. So when I went to London, I had to pass some time on the train, and I had to come back home, and I had to pass some more time on the train, and that series fitted exactly in there. And I loved it. It's fucking awesome. No, okay, if this show did one thing for someone who has never seen Game of Thrones in their entire life, okay, I need to say I did see the first 5 episodes like a few years ago, but I never really got through that first season because I wasn't feeling it at that point. Right now, more, but I haven't had the feeling of, okay, now I really want to see Game of Thrones. I think most of that has got to do with the fact that it ends in a fucked way in season 8, and I kind of just don't want to watch 6 seasons to then have 2 seasons of pure shit. But hey, maybe I will give it a chance. Probably will give it a chance, by the way, because this was genuinely amazing. And yeah, okay, there were some things in this series that definitely got over my head. Like, okay, I figured it out that the reveal for Egg, without going in too many spoilers, so light spoilers ahead, the reveal for Egg, like who his character actually is, it's around in the middle of the series when they reveal what he is and where he is from. I understood that it was a very big moment. I even understood what house he was from because I am not a fool. I know some families of Game of Thrones, so I know who is who, so to say. So I was like, oh, damn. And I was very interested by that fact that I got, first of all, got that. Then second of all, that I saw it as this big moment, but that was everything. Like, it is even revealed which character from the original show that he is, and I did not get that far. I did not get that little hints, but at least I got aspects of that, which is cool, because even people who don't know anything of Game of Thrones, have never seen it, even those people like me can get some satisfaction from the series, can get some amazement from this series, which is something I really, really adored about it. It made me invested, not only because, of course, Dunk and Egg are 2 phenomenal characters. The kid did it phenomenal as Egg, and the guy who played Dunk was also just really fucking good. And something I just genuinely really like about this series, because I did see those first 5 episodes of Game of Thrones, and those were kind of dark, and I know that the rest of the series is also kind of dark, and I know season 8 is literally very dark, because you can't see shit that's supposed to be happening. But yeah, okay, it's a very dark and gritty series. It's not a lot of fun stuff. It's just mostly people hating each other and people wanting power and people killing each other and leading characters that you absolutely love, obviously always dying because you love them. I know that's something Game of Thrones does. So I was having a whiplash when I saw this series, and it was one of the most fun times I've ever had, because the comedy in this series is just genuinely amazing. Like, in the first episode, it's not a spoiler, unless you think jokes are spoilers. If so, skip 10 seconds. But there is a little slight moment where you have the Game of Thrones music playing and building up, and it's absolutely epic, and then the music stops and it just shits. I mean, I was sitting on the train. I was sitting on a Eurostar, and I lost it. I absolutely lost it. That was the moment that this series grabbed me. That was the moment this series held me, and that was the moment where I was invested. And I was like, okay, give it to me. I'm ready. I'm ready for this. And this series never let go of that moment. I have to say that episode 5 was a little bit of a bummer. Not in a bad way. It was still like a perfect 8 out of 10 for my opinion, because it was still a really fucking good episode, but because of everything that happened online with it being a 10 out of 10, and then this crybabies from Breaking Bad, and then the other crybabies from Game of Thrones hating the 2 episodes. Come on, man. Grow the fuck up. That was a really big bummer, but I was having high expectations of that episode, and it wasn't exactly what I anticipated it to be, but it was still very, 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 very good, and I still absolutely loved what they did. It was just something else than what I expected, and I don't know. I think the biggest bummer about episode 5 is just all of the idiots that have access to the internet and access to IMDb. Which is what I've always been saying, this should change how people could review and how they should change how people could react and give stars, because it's bullshit like this continuously happens. And it's bullshit. And I really hate that. But the series was absolutely phenomenal. If the series did one thing, it is making me interested in watching Game of Thrones. So whenever I have the time, I will for sure start watching that series, and I will for sure fall in love with Game of Thrones. I will not watch House of the Dragon before I have seen Game of Thrones. I know that's a prequel as well, but that feels like a series that you will love and understand more once you know more about Game of Thrones, which is why I will watch the full 8 seasons of Game of Thrones before I go into House of the Dragon. But A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, if this shit ever gets a second season, I hope it will. I'm absolutely all there for that. I have some theories. I have some ideas. I have been thinking about this series. I thought it was absolutely amazing, and this is definitely one of the most times of fun I ever had with a series, especially in the last few years. This was great. It wasn't the biggest hype level for me because it's not a series that is in the competition for me personally because of all my fandoms and all of the series that are coming in those fandoms, but still, for someone who did not know anything about Game of Thrones, this was a very big surprise, and I absolutely genuinely really loved what I saw in this. Alright, what did you think of the Night of the Seven Kingdoms? Please tell me know in the comments down below, because I'm really excited to hear your opinion on it. I want to thank you for watching, and I'd like to see you next time. Thank you, and bye-bye.